Did you buy that new adjustable bench everyone's been talking about? Did you get it home, then realize all it does is adjust? Are you a little upset? You want a little bit more out of your adjustable bench? Good news is, so do I. The better news is, I might just have the answer for you right after this. So stick around. What's up everyone? Joe Gray here today to talk about adjustable benches. You may have seen me say before that I don't care about adjustable benches unless if they take attachments. So we regularly used our leg curl, leg extension attachment on our bench. We have for years in my gym. So it is an absolute deal breaker for me for an adjustable bench to not have attachment options. The downside is most of those benches historically have kind of sucked. So you probably know that I had a long time love affair with my PowerTech lever gym. The bench itself though was less than ideal. My buddy JB at garagesystems.com called it one of the worst benches he had ever used. Not too far off. They have made updates in recent years, but I believe it's still not quite up to par with what we see on the market. We replaced that with the Hoist FID bench, which is a decent bench. It's a little long for my taste in general. It's got a few other quirks, but it's a nice ladder system. It's robust and fairly sturdy. The problem is the cost. It's like a $700 or $800 bench plus the attachments, and when you compare that to the other adjustable benches on the market, it just doesn't stack up. The Inspire SCS bench, this is what we currently have, which connects really easily and well to the Inspire FT2 system, is awesome if you have the FT2. If you don't, you're in the same ballpark as the Hoist. It's a decently expensive option to simply get attachments for a bench that's okay. The only bench over the years that was an attachment focused bench that I think they did pretty well, that was relatively affordable at the same time, was the Iron Master Super Bench. So I owned the original one and then sold it once I got the PowerTech because it kind of duplicated some of the efforts. But the upgraded newer version 2 Pro, they took a lot of the feedback, they upgraded the vinyl, they made it wider in some parts but not all. They've done a lot of cool stuff with that one. I think it basically stands alone in the market in terms of a quality adjustable bench that takes quality attachments that isn't over the top expensive until today. So today we're taking a look at the Prime Fitness adjustable bench. Prime has had a couple of adjustable benches over the years, but this is their new offering and it takes attachments. Now it looks like a standard typical adjustable bench, but the attachment options are anything but typical, standard, or even the way they go on and function is fairly unique compared to everything else I've seen on the market. Look at the bench. First up, it's a 100-pound beefy, made in the US bench. This is a hefty bench compared to a lot of the other ones I've had in the gym. The last bench we reviewed was a Above Genius bench, which weighed probably, no joke, a third of what this guy weighs. So quite a change there. It has wheels to help it move around, plus a handle, so that's definitely crucial for this. It works off of your typical ladder system for adjustments, both off of the back rest for incline, as well as the front seat for both incline and decline purposes. First up for the attachments, let's take a look at the back pad rails. So you'll see that you have holes that run from the top to the bottom. You snag these guys right here and they pop into place. You set your bench and you've got an incline dumbbell curl that functions like using a biceps bomber. You can press your elbows or triceps into the pad and really focus on the bicep concentration. As you can see, you can adjust this up and down with the different holes, so different athletes can set that up in different needs. Next up is this ingenious dude right here. This pop pin takes the top pad off the bench and opens it up to a number of possibilities. First, you can see how you can do chest-supported dumbbell rows without having your face smashed into the bench. This works well for dumbbell pullovers and other items where that full bench was a pain. It even makes the bench resemble your typical dumbbell shoulder press bench you find in a commercial gym, often called a utility bench or utility seat. Second, you can toss on the decline attachment and get to work on whatever ab work, decline dumbbell bench, or other setups you want. And third, you can toss on these two fancy attachments and do some cool stuff. The dumbbell rack works great for dumbbell rows as well, or really anything where you might want to just get the dumbbell at a better starting position. With the addition of the preacher curl portions, you have a full preacher bench at your disposal. If you happen to like preacher curls better with an easy curl bar, no problem. They've got this extra piece to elevate the bar for you. So right out the gate, we have multiple options for biceps, some good stuff for back, and the obvious dumbbell bench, shoulder press, you name it. So right out the gate, you can see that we have a bunch of options with this bench for back, biceps, triceps, shoulders, chest, you name it. More than just adjusting, this bench does a lot of stuff. The cool thing is Prime has already announced that they will have a leg curl / extension attachment. That piece is supposed to work both plate loaded and connect into their Prodigy line of racks and the single stack. So if you're already in the Prime ecosystem, this bench could probably be a no-brainer addition for you. They've also talked about on their social media things like potentially having a back extension set up, which would make sense as well, just taking a look at what that looks like versus say our adjustable hoist bench, how that functions, and I think they could make that work fairly easily. What I like so far is that one, this bench looks like a typical bench. So if you didn't tell anyone that it took attachments, they wouldn't look at it as anything different than a normal bench, which means it functions like a bench, like a high quality, good adjustable bench. It's got a clean aesthetic. It looks good as a bench by itself. That was one of my primary pros for the Iron Master Super Bench originally it was a good bench that then took attachments. Add to that the Prime bench has such a unique way of adding the attachments. I think you've got a lot of possibilities to get really creative here. Your typical adjustable bench takes attachments in some type of a post or pipe off the front of the bench, and that's it. It's limited, right? So they have to work off of that one piece. Prime working off of the post, off of the back rails, off of the attachment top to the bench itself with that pop pin, that creates some unique opportunities that you wouldn't see in other benches. I could even see some custom DIY options being created by some creative home gym users, or maybe even some third-party companies kind of working within the Prime bench ecosystem to make something cool. So maybe like a Mutant Metals or somebody like that could come up with something that would fit that bench, since the basic working mechanisms aren't anything too crazy to fit. So what do you think? Did Prime knock this out of the park? Is this the best adjustable bench on the market that also takes attachments? Or is there something missing? Do you think Prime could have improved the pads or the grip? Or maybe those attachments aren't something you're interested in? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if you are interested, what attachments you want to see Prime come out with. And that's the initial impressions of the Prime Fitness new adjustable bench. I will have links in the description for you guys to check out. The first link will be to the page on my website that has more pictures, more specs, more details, everything I know and will learn about this bench over the next several months, and further will be updated on that page. Once I get a full comprehensive final review put together in a couple of months from now on this bench, I'll update that link as well. So then that way I have all the details in there, all my thoughts, everything on that one page. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I'll be back here soon with more home gym awesomeness to share with all of you. That's it for me. Peace.